Okay, so Shazam opens up here in less than a month, and honestly, the movie is going to be compared to Captain Marvel whether they want it to or not. There's the obvious use of the name, obviously Shazam's original name being Captain Marvel. There's also just the rivalry between DC and Marvel, the fact that Aquaman grossed $1 billion dollars or $1.14 billion dollars. Is Shazam going to be able to do the same thing based upon solid word of mouth? This, of course, comes off of early press screenings who happened to see it the day before Captain Marvel released, and they were then able to put out their social media remarks the next morning. I mean, DC is very, very, very much pushing this movie to be its next big thing, as it should. It looks really good. The trailer they released the other day was really, really, really funny. It was full of heart, full of humor, reminded me of Big meets a superhero movie, whereas my friend Lewis from Nuke the Fridge saw it, and he said that it's a lot like Goonies meets like 1978 Superman, which is, I'm still trying to wrap my head around that one, to be honest with you. I haven't asked him to clarify, mostly because I don't want there to be any spoilers, but come March 23rd, oh, you bet your ass, I'm going to be seeing the movie, because they are doing another early screening of a DC movie. They did it with Aquaman, where Amazon put out a screening 2 weeks early, which was interesting because I still had to pay the full price to go see it. So thanks Amazon, I guess. And they're doing it with Shazam, although this time it's Fandango, and I bought my ticket for it yesterday. So March 23rd, I will in fact be watching Shazam, and I'm very excited to see it, predominantly because my birthday is a couple days later, and a couple years ago when Batman v Superman came out on the 25th, that was like my girlfriend's birthday present to me, and it was kind of disappointing, and I'm hoping to get a little bit of that good DCEU flavor back in my mouth right before my birthday. But here's the sad thing though, and Latino Review is talking about this right now, where apparently Shazam is tracking for a low $40 to $45 million opening. Yeah. Everyone's talking about Shazam in a positive light. Everyone is talking about Shazam in a very positive way. No one is bad-mouthing the movie. No one says it looks bad. In fact, more people I've talked to who aren't even DCEU fans have seen the trailer for Shazam and be like, you know, that actually looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. But only 40 to 45 million? Is it just because it's coming off, it's in between Captain Marvel and it's in between Endgame? Is it just because it's a new superhero that a lot of people out there may not know about? Is it the turmoil going on in the DCEU? I mean, I really have no freaking idea. It says here that the new predictions come courtesy of Deadline, who are saying that it's going to be between 40 and $45 million. But that being said, the movie did have a bit of a lower budget in regards to superhero movies. It says here about 150 million. Or it wasn't made for 150 million. It was made for about 80 to 90 million. So $45 million opening weekend on an 80 to 90 million budgeted movie isn't bad. I mean, if you recall, even the early estimates for Venom were 50 to $55 million. That was the early estimate for Venom. And then it jumped up upon its actual release to over 80 million. So that was Venom, right? Like that was Venom. So it's one of those things where you're kind of laughing at it a little bit simply because of that. Now, the way I view it's like this. The movie is going to have a lot of push going for it going in. A lot of the critics have already seen it. They're already, talking about it in a positive light. And it appears that Warner's is full aware of this. They've been wanting to back the movie. They did an early screening a month early for critics, allowed them to talk about it on social media because they believe in the film. Obviously, they might be feeling a little bit, ego going on there, right? A little elevated because of the success of Aquaman, and they want this one to do the same as well. Obviously, this movie is not going to have the same pull or reach as Aquaman, but it might. It's going to have 3 weeks between it and Endgame, and so people are going to want to get their superhero fix in the meantime because Captain Marvel was just kind of lackluster. And if this offers a better experience, especially one that's going to be aimed at kids, predominantly young boys, I think we're going to see a lot of parents taking their sons to see this movie, just like we saw parents taking their daughters to see Captain Marvel. And again, there's nothing wrong with either side of that thing. I'm not trying to argue that part of the culture war. But when I look at the concept of Shazam, to me, it's far more interesting, far more funny than what Captain Marvel was. Captain Marvel, on paper, good idea. And execution kind of came across like a Saturday morning cartoon version of what the MCU needed in terms of an origin story. It was more tied to television than it was to the actual films. And at least with today's Endgame trailer, we got a little bit more, but still not enough to make me go, yeah, okay, yeah, all right, whatever. But 40 to 45 million. I think it's going to go more. I think once people see the early screening of the movie a couple weeks early, once they get that 2-week push from March 23rd until April 5th, when they're telling their friends, you've got to go see Shazam. Oh my God, it was great. I caught an early screening. I think that number is going to increase. It's not going to go up to the 153 million or whatever that Captain Marvel made. It doesn't have that kind of marketing budget. And I think this is going to test DC Films' new theory. Release films, make these movies for a lower budget, $50 to $100 million, try to aim on the lower side, release it, try to make back that money, and then build up the characters by building up the fandom. Similar to what Deadpool did. $50 million budget, grossed over 800 million. So they can do this if they do it right. And if the marketing is solid, which the marketing in Shazam's case is very solid, I have a feeling we're going to be able to see a lot come out of this movie, that the word of mouth is going to be very high, that people are going to go see it out of just pure curiosity. And if it doesn't meet expectations, it's not going to break the bank for Warner Brothers, who I think maybe after the 300 million that it was rumored for Justice League are scaling it back. So they go, okay, we're gonna release these smaller films and rebuild from there, versus going all in on these massive movies leading to a massive event film, which is what people were telling them from the start to begin with. But hey, whatever. So yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Are you guys planning to see Shazam? If you are going to go see it on March 23rd, let me know down in the comments. If not, check out Fandango, pick up your tickets, and definitely check it out. Everyone I've talked to has seen it, has given exceptionally high marks, which makes me very excited to see it myself. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.